1, 2, 3, 4.
Quick, short, bursts
with
Young.
Adam.
Quick, short, bursts with Adam and Young. Quick, short, bursts with Young and Adam. Quick, short, bursts. Quick, short, bursts. Quick, short, bursts with Adam and Young. You know what I was thinking the other day?
What's that?
Why do we have to greet each other? Why do people have to greet each other every time? Shouldn't it just be a given at this point?
It's quite a formality, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like, hi, how are you? Fine, how are you? Fine. Or good morning. Or good night. Bye, see you later. Do we really have to do that all the time? Like, what? Isn't it just a given by now?
In movies and on TV shows, a lot of time they just cut that stuff out. Like when a phone conversation ends, it's very rare to hear on a movie phone call they say, okay, bye, and they hang up or anything.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, they just hang up the phone and that's it. And because cinematically it works much better. But somehow when I've tried to do that kind of thing, it just feels a little rude. Like I feel that tension, like I'm supposed to say something. Usually when I talk with my brother, I find, I don't know why we both do this, but we'll both be like when we're rounding down the conversation or winding it down, we'll go, okay, well, I'll talk to you later. Okay. And he goes, yeah, talk to you later. All right, bye. He goes, bye. I don't know why we have this double layer of it.
Yeah, maybe real life should be more like movies. We should just have quick edits for everything.
Yeah.
Like, we're just at the bar now. We don't have to show them going to the bar. And
You get it.
Yeah, you get that they traveled there somehow.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, I think if people don't do it, it's a weird social contract thing, but I think people, maybe they're like, oh, they didn't say goodbye. Like, are they mad at me? Or like, did I do something wrong?
But if we all discuss it and say, no, I'm not doing it because I'm mad at you. I'm doing it because I think it's unnecessary.
Yeah.
Then if we all come to that understanding, then we could stop doing it. Because it's kind of a waste of time and everything.
Yeah.
It's just always, you say the same thing and you don't, sometimes it's sincere, like you're really curious about how someone's doing.
Right.
Maybe in that case, if you really feel like asking, then you should. But
yeah, definitely.
A lot of times, like at the grocery store, for instance, I've had this happen before where the cashier's like, hi, how are you? And I say, I'm fine, how are you? And then they don't respond after that.
Yeah, right.
And you're like, why did you ask me that? Because you obviously don't care.
Yeah.
They're just doing it because they feel like they have to.
It's hard to... I mean, that's the nature of these weird little subtle social things. It's really hard to actually negotiate that.
Yeah.
Because you have to just make something explicit that never was. You have to, like, to every one of your acquaintances or any person, like a grocery checker or whatever that you come across, they go, hi, how are you? And you have to go, look, I'm not doing that now.
Yeah.
I don't do that. It's not a problem. It's nothing about you. I think you're great.
But then you have to do this whole explanation too.
Yeah.
And that would be even more work.
Right. And every new person you come across, you have to do that. Unless your reputation starts to precede you.
Yeah, that's true.
He just doesn't like to waste time. He's very,
economical and
he's
efficient.
Economic with that stuff. Yeah. Except then all that time you've saved by not doing that, you could institute something else. Like some people want to move the European kind of kiss hello thing. They want that going in America.
Yeah.
You got time for that now. And then that's a similar kind of like awkward conversation. Like, look, I think we should do like the cheek kiss thing when we say hello. Why don't we do that? And, nobody ever wants to talk about that.
I wonder if there are any cultures where it's even more affectionate than that. They're like,
their tongues
grab each other's asses and tongue each other and
How's
stuff.
your ass?
How are you doing? This is how we greet each other in my country. With your hugs.
With your...
Or you're just waving and saying hi to each other.
Yeah, waving remotely.
The wave is really awkward too. What's the point? It's like, are you saying, I'm over here? Like, can you see me?
Waves are funny. It's like an acknowledgement. I don't know. Like you can... That seems like a really old one. You're like using your hand as a flag, kind of. You're like... I don't know. I think
Maybe in a crowd. It's
or at a distance.
Yeah.
Before people had cell phones. Like seeing somebody 500 feet away and going like, oh, I see them. I think that's my friend. I wonder if they see me. We're just standing here. But what could I do to let them know?
Yeah.
Like, I could like wiggle back and forth. I could shake my hips. I could spin in place.
Yeah.
I could jump up and down.
If it's an attention grabbing thing though, wouldn't you kind of swing both arms like you're signaling in an airplane or something? Yeah.
Well, I think, it's negotiating that need to grab attention with still have it be some kind of a, something a little more elegant and more,
like screaming their names. I'm over here.
Yeah, right.
Can you see me? Jump up and down.
Hey, Joe.
I saw you, and I knew it was you like a mile away, fuckhead. Stop doing that.
I know who it is.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this anymore. By the way, I wanted to tell you, I don't wave.
Yeah, I stopped doing that.
Uh-huh.
That's my thing. I don't do that anymore.
I think it's a waste of time.
I bet there's tons of shit like that, though, that people do that we could totally get rid of.
Yeah.
Not just greetings and waving and stuff, but even more than that.
Yeah. What else takes up a lot of time?
Like, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'll be back.
Yeah, right.
Like, we should just go and then come
back.
Like,
whoever left a table and you went, what the fuck?
Where are you going, dude?
What happened?
Yeah. They were totally befuddled. Like,
what on earth?
Dave just got up from the table and walked towards the back of the restaurant.
I thought we were having a nice conversation.
And then he came back and I was like, what happened? He didn't say what he was doing or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he might be running away or, I don't know, making a drug deal back there or something. I wasn't sure.
I thought he had decided right then to start his life over.
Mm-hmm. Walking out on his family and everything.
Mm-hmm. He's just gone. Something about this afternoon just made him realize it.
What are you looking at?
My friend and work associate is here. I'm going to pause it for a second.
Okay. Have you seen the headlines that there will also be male sex robots?
No.
Well, they got the female ones they've been working on for a while.
Yeah.
But now there are going to be male ones, which I thought totally changed the game,
Yeah.
And I was wondering
things.
If female and male sex robots will discriminate against humans for their inferior software and hardware.
Yeah, what if they just exclusively fuck with each other then?
Yeah, they're like, humans just can't fuck, They're going to be superior to us at it, right?
They've got technology on their side.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that would be sad.
And then I was wondering, is there going to be robot fetish porn? Like humans are going to jerk off to robots doing it?
And maybe robots will jerk off to humans doing it.
Or is there going to be cuck porn where a guy's going to watch a robot just satisfy his wife in a way that he never could? Because, a robot is going to, pleasure a human woman, like, perfectly, probably.
Well.
Way better than a human man ever could. The robot could go forever, probably knows exactly what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And for how long, and then it can sense when she wants some kind of change or something, It could just pick up all these things, all these cues, and change things up.
And probably the fact that it has this sort of, I imagine, like a prehensile dick.
Yeah.
Just something that's ever changeable and.
Yeah, it's going to be the perfect size for the woman. He'll be like, "What kind of cock do you like?"
And shape and everything.
And shape it for her and make it, whatever size and shape that she wants.
Mm-hmm. And it could even change from beginning to middle to end.
Yeah, mid-coitus it could change.
Uh-huh.
We're fucked if the male sex robots, are really developed well enough.
Yeah.
But then we have the option of going to female sex robots.
Right.
So
if those damn male sex robots don't steal all of them from us,
Yeah.
It's bleak.
It is kind of bleak.
I too had a vision of the future.
Okay.
I got another way of the future here.
The way of the future, the way of the future, the way of the future, the way of the future.
Good. I haven't heard that one in a while.
It's been a little while. It's been on sort of a hiatus.
Yeah.
More time had to pass before I could talk about future time. This one's about the theme simplification. I think, this is kind of a big one, and it's something, there's historically for humans, it's been a big deal. Like there's been a lot of fanfare about this particular part. But it's something I think we've nearly outgrown it as a species. We used to need it for like throwing spears, for smelting metal, for strangling people who disagreed with us. And now mostly like what we use it for is like masturbating and hitting the space bar.
What are you talking about?
Thumbs.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about them?
We almost don't need them anymore. We're nearly done with thumbs.
What are we going to do instead?
We're like, I think it's more like, what are we doing with them? You know, I think that's what you need to ask yourself. We used to need them to handle tools in order to make things. Like robots make everything now.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need that. It's just, you know, they're totally in excess of purpose. We used to need them to hitchhike. We have ride sharing apps now. You just call a Lyft or an Uber or something. They'll take you where you need to go.
How are you going to use your smartphone? With your index finger?
Yeah, you just index fingers is fine. I think we use the thumbs up emoji more than we use actual thumbs these days.
That's true.
Yeah. Like there's technology has an answer for everything that thumb could be asking. That you, I wish I could come up with a better way to put that. Technology has an answer for any question that you think you might need a thumb for. That's as close as I'm going to get. Parallel parking, like we have self-driving cars. You don't have to worry about being able to grab the wheel real firmly or anything. You're fine. Just use your new flipper and get it done with. Masturbation, like there's toys like vibrators and fleshlights, and there's going to be these fancy sex robots. So like, it doesn't matter. Fine. I predict in 30 years, the thumb will be a vestigial appendage. When we see people using them, we'll think they're precious and quaint, like a frontiersman or a Civil War reenactor.
Or even a caveman.
Yeah.
Or an ape.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Like, it was a big deal for cavemen and, like, yeah, separating themselves from the rest of the beasts so they could grab their clubs and their stones and their bones and things. We don't need that. So I think the thumb is going to end up being nothing more than a footnote in the story of humankind. Mark my words. Actually, I'll mark them myself. I'll go ahead and just tap them into my phone here. Oh, shoot, the old phone's out of juice, actually. Could you pass me that pen over there for a second?
I'm not using my thumb.
Oh, thanks.
There you go. Hey, you used your thumb to get it from me, though.
Fuck! I'll need the thumb to write things.
But I mean, are you proposing that we cut them off, or that they're just going to kind of wilt away like an appendix?
I mean, kind of a little from column A, a little from column B. You could speed things up if you wanted to, or just. I think it's going to sort of wither.
We don't have tails anymore.
Right, exactly. The thumb, it's like a tail for your hand.
I thought one thing that was special about us was that we had opposable thumbs.
Yeah, it was.
It was, okay.
That was then. Now the special thing about us is that we have robots.
Okay, so what are little kids going to suck on if they don't have their thumbs?
That's a really good question. I'd go for probably the ring finger.
The ring finger?
Uh-huh. What do you think?
I don't know, we could give them fake thumbs to suck on. Like they have those nipples that they suck on.
Right.
Suckers.
It's a pacifier.
Yeah,
that's
pacifier.
Exactly it. Thank you. You just have sort of a strap-on pacifier where the thumb used to be.
Oh, that sounds kind of disgusting for some reason. Give the kid a strap-on to suck on.
Yeah, when you put it that way. I mean, I wouldn't phrase it that way, but
I would.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, I'm not talking about what you think I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You fucking sick fuck.
Mm-hmm.
This is for a child to suck on.
Yeah.
Because, kids like to suck on things.
Yeah. It's called an oral fixation. This does not make it sound any better.
What's on your mind, fucking weirdo?
Mm-hmm. Once I saw, this is going in the wrong direction, I think, but I think it was a graduate design school student, made an extra thumb. Like if on looking at the palm of your right hand, your thumb is on the right side, they came up with this prosthetic thumb that mounted to the left side of that palm. And it had all this wiring and stuff. It had all the joints, and it had this wiring that went up your wrist. And I think the way they had you control it was with sort of some foot pedals that could sense motion in different ways. And there were just these weird grasping things that it could do. It gave you all these extra capabilities in terms of...
Seems like it would take a lot of coordination, though, if you had to use your feet. Almost like you're playing the drums or the piano or something.
Yeah, my guess is that that was the most straightforward way to model the movement and everything to show how it would work, but that really it would probably end up being some kind of an implant that went straight to your brain or something, and you could, that's more future stuff. But I think, again, wrong direction. We need fewer thumbs, not more. We just don't use those things.
You could even masturbate with like both your hands.
Yeah, you just
like together.
I mean, we're
it would look funny. That would look really funny though, to see someone jerking off like with two hands like that.
Yeah.
Just kind of clasping their hands around their wiener.
Yeah, I think you kind of. That's probably how a fish masturbates.
Yeah, or like that masturbating bear on Conan O'Brien kind of looked like he was doing that.
Yeah, he did. I think we're 2 in a row talking about the masturbating bear on Conan O'Brien, or maybe that was the one
really
before.
left an impression on me, I guess, or us.
Yeah.
I thought that patient 0 for the coronavirus should be called Typhoon Mary.
Yeah, I'll allow this.
Okay. This seems like the minimalism episode so far. Like what I talked about earlier with the greetings, and then you brought up getting rid of thumbs.
Yeah, we're paring everything down.
And talking about the future as well. And I was wondering if in the future, are they going to be able to kind of reconstruct the past easily because of how much data is being gathered all the time?
Yeah, right.
Will they be able to make like a virtual past of like, say, what's happening in 2020? Like in 2030, will they be able to take all the stuff that's being collected, the data, and kind of make a virtual world out of it that you can enter?
In virtual reality, you're saying?
Maybe. Or maybe even somehow you can enter it somehow.
And like use your physical eyes and ears and everything to experience it. Yeah, it's an interesting thought. For some reason, the first thing I think is how for some areas they'd have a lot more data on what the thing looked like than others, and like it would be higher resolution than other spaces.
Yeah,
but like in this place, I'm thinking, it would be like you'd have some block to represent that house over there, and then it would have like a relatively low res aerial photo just kind of stretched over it.
Yeah,
and you go,
that would be hilarious.
I guess that's a house, kind of. Yeah,
and the people who are living off the grid. Like when you approach their area, it looks kind of like 8-bit Nintendo or something.
Yeah.
And then you have some parts that look more like a modern PC game or something, or a PlayStation game.
Yeah. Because there was a mall over there or something. And so they really took a lot of photos there so that everybody would know how to get around.
And all the Instagram selfies that were taken there gave a lot of data. Yeah, you could even like model the people that were there at the time.
That's what I was just thinking. You could have like
all these pictures of the people.
These mannequins with Instagram photos just kind of smeared across their heads.
Yeah. That'd be pretty cool, actually.
It's just like the past.
In some parts.
Yeah.
Some parts it's just like a shitty Nintendo game.
Yeah. And that same way that people play games with graphics that aren't so great, they learn to just kind of like look past it. And they're like, yeah, it's not perfect, but
just enjoy it.
So you're just there in this really... If you were immersed in something like that, it probably would be very creepy if you didn't learn how to kind of put blinders on a little bit.
Yeah, that would be funny. That'd be trippy, dude.
You think anyone would want to come back to 2020?
I don't know. Maybe 20 years from now.
Maybe.
Seems to be the time spent for retro, right?
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Shit, yeah, people are going to be talking about how great the 2000s were pretty soon.
I think they're already starting that up because the 90s, I think, is kind of phasing out at this point. It's been in for a while.
Yeah. It's a lot about simplification and the future and everything. I was thinking about, a lot of people are afraid of artificial intelligence and the way it can sort of develop and eventually maybe take over and, would just be this kind of malevolent force against humanity and maybe against all mammals. And you hear like people get really freaked out about all of the sort of tracking and the different sorts of like big search companies and just big web presences,
data analysis and all that.
Yeah, like Google and Amazon, and the way that they'll use their analysis of your spending habits and browsing habits to kind of market to you.
Yeah.
I think we're a really long way off before any of that is a problem, because I've just noticed what made me think of this was sometimes, like recently and like in the last couple of years, my main computer is a laptop, and I'll like take it around to different spots and use shared networks and things a lot of times for my way to get online. And not that it's like just a public thing, but just sometimes like I might know someone at a house with housemates and stuff, and I can get on their network, and it's remarkable how much you can learn about people from just doing that kind of a thing. Like all of a sudden I'll be on that network and I'll see ads that I've never seen before.
Yeah.
Like I've seen them for.
So they're ads for other people that they think they want to see.
They think it's me. Yeah. Just because like I'm on the network, which is such a like totally.
Oh, but it's stuff that you're interested in kind of.
No, not at all.
No?
That's the thing. Like they think, I was trying to think of, let me mention the things first. Like going from never seeing this kind of stuff at all on other networks to like getting on another network and seeing it all of a sudden. Things about like fighting alcohol addiction, foot fungus, knee problems or like knee replacement.
So this is stuff that other people had been searching probably?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's always that like, I don't know, the feeling is just that you've gone from like 0 to 100 miles an hour with this stuff, because all of a sudden they're just like, all right, here's this like, this is what you're going to want to do. Because from their side, it's like they're continuing a conversation with someone that they've already been marketing toward, but it's not at all. They've totally missed the point. And I was trying to think of how that would be in the physical world if there was something analogous to that. And it's almost like an ad man just kind of like loudly walking into a room. He's like, oh, I've been in here before. You don't look like Bob, but Bob was the one who was in here before. Anyway, Bob, let's talk some more about your premature ejaculation problems, huh?
Yeah.
And you're like, that's not me. I'm not Bob.
Sure, buddy.
Anyway, it's okay. Some guys just finish early. It's good. It's okay.
It happens to a lot of us. But you're not alone in this.
And it also, like the way, it also reminded me of like a small town busybody. How just this presence that's up in everybody's shit, and like they have to be letting everybody know. Like it would just, I learned more about folks than I really have a right to know, and I'm not interested. And it's just because it's like there, it's just being shown to you.
An alcoholic with foot fungus.
Yeah.
And premature ejaculation problems.
Yeah. I think they've got, there's a big gap between that and, some kind of Terminator robot coming down and knowing us and our weaknesses and, how to exploit them.
I think in the future, we're probably just going to get lulled into this very slowly. Then we're just going to accept that it's part of our lives, that they're just harvesting all this data about us. And it's going to be like we're sort of slaves to technology, or it's going to be like an authoritarian regime almost controlling us.
It could happen.
The artist Ai Weiwei from China, he was in Germany for a while and he left there. He was complaining about how a lot of aspects of German culture were authoritarian and oppressive, and he didn't like it there. He said it kind of reminded him of China in some respects.
Really?
He's like, and a lot of people go along with that kind of system because it's comfortable once you get settled into it, and the government sort of takes care of you. And that's why a lot of people don't resist, because you just kind of get lulled into it slowly, and then you accept that that's the way life is. And then he went to England, and he's like, I like it here better so far.
Interesting.
He said people are nicer. He said he had a lot of experiences in Germany where people were really rude to him and stuff. It sounded like he didn't like it there.
I think I like Germany better than England.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd have to live in each for a while, I think, before deciding. It's really hard to figure it out when you're just a tourist.
Definitely. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's spooky stuff.
At work, I noticed in Section 202 of the 2019 California Fire Code, and the section about fireworks, they mentioned something called a Dago bomb. And I was like, wow, that's like some kind of a really old school ethnic slur, isn't it?
Yeah, sounds like it.
Is that Italians or Spanish people? Which is it?
I thought it was Italians.
Is it? Is it for Diego? Is that where it comes from?
I've never been able to figure that out.
Yeah. That was kind of crazy, though, that
that it would end up sort of enshrined.
Just sit right there, Dago bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Now watch out for those, I don't know, those gook sparklers or something.
Oh,
God. those fucking chink rockets.
It all has line items. The following are prohibited.
Yeah.
It's just boom, boom.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awful. It is funny, like
no spick jumping jacks.
With most of the ones, somehow on the scale of, offensiveness, the ones that are more, I guess I think of them mostly as the cultures that came over here, still European, but like that the last big wave of racism or kind of ethnic prejudice against them was in that time.
Yeah.
Somehow it's like the half-life is over with that stuff, and we can just kind of, those Irish people,
those mix
Italians,
of those krauts
all that, Germans. It's all fair game.
I think it's because they had an easier time assimilating, probably, because they're white, and then they just kind of blend in after a couple generations, and you don't even notice where they're from exactly,
right?
Unless they're really, strongly Italian, and they stuck to their roots a lot. Otherwise, they probably just assimilated, and you have no idea just looking at them.
Yeah,
because they probably intermarried with other
white
ethnic groups like Germans and Irish people or whatever.
Yeah.
It is funny though, like interracial like prejudice is kind of funny, and it happens a lot, even among Asians.
Right? Yeah, you told me this.
Yeah,
I still remember you looking at, wasn't it Giant Robot?
Yeah,
it was like a magazine and a website that you looked
I used
at
to
a lot.
Yeah,
and you were on a forum there when we were in college, and you were like, "This person says," I don't even remember. I thought they were saying that like they hated Koreans because they smell like fish or something like that.
Oh yeah, probably.
It was just this like very, very strong and very specific, odd, not really an observation, but just this opinion that they had.
Yeah, it's like they decided at some point that they don't like this ethnic group, and they come up with some reasons for it. I should have said intraracial earlier, not interracial.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, within a racial group.
There we go, not across racial groups. Yeah. That's one that would have been nicer to have had a little bit more of a gap from one word to the other.
But if there was a cracker,
what would that be?
I don't know, just some kind of firework that is named after crackers, like white people.
Yeah.
Or a honky bomb. That just sounds funny for some reason.
Honky bomb is great.
Yeah. The white ethnic slurs, they don't really have much of a bite or a sting, it seems like. They're just kind of funny sounding to me.
Yeah. What's the Ofe? That's one that African Americans came up with at a certain point, I think.
Oh, really? I don't know.
White folks. And it's not that it sounds like really nasty. It does sound serious. It does not sound funny to me. I'm like, when I heard that, I was like, oh, golly.
Ofe? I don't even know. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
You'd have to hear it a lot for it to stick, I think.
Yeah. I think so, too.
But I was listening to this podcast, and they were talking about how there aren't really any ones for white people that seem offensive. And I always thought the best way to offend a white person would be to go after their specific ethnic group. And I don't even know if that works. Like if someone's Irish, like you say they're a drunken Mick or whatever, instead of saying they're a white boy or something.
Right, yeah.
Or if they're Italian, you call them a greasy wop or something. That seems like the most effective way. And even that, I don't know if it would offend a white person or not.
Yeah. Yeah, probably not. And then there are a lot of, like with me, it's kind of like there's more than 3 legs to the tripod. Like you can sweep one of them out and I'm like, yeah, fine.
Well, I got a couple other over here that you haven't said anything about, so that's okay.
And you have to be very skillful to be able to knock out a bunch of those at once. You can't just say, oh yeah, you're Norwegian and you're German and like have one for each of those, because then it just sounds like you're working too hard.
Yeah. But it was funny, when I was in New York, there was an Irish priest, Catholic priest, and he was complaining about something I think Mayor Bloomberg said about Irish people. It was like some kind of typical stereotype, like about them being drunk and stuff and fighting and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
He was talking about how it was offensive, and I was kind of surprised. I haven't seen too much of that at that point, like white people complaining about prejudice or.
Yeah.
But it seems to be on the rise these days. You see more and more online, like white people saying things are unfair, like towards white people these days. Like everything's swung the other direction, and we're actually the oppressed people now in this country.
Yeah. Yeah. It's an odd one. At that moment when it swings to say like, oh, now we're the oppressed ones. Well, it's got a lot of swinging to do before it gets to the point where you're actually...
Or maybe we'll reach a point where every ethnic group feels kind of,
equally...
Yeah, like everyone's prejudiced against by all the other groups. And the whole white people are going to become a minority thing has always weirded me out too, because I always thought that's like saying there's two groups of people in America, white people and non-white people, but that's not the case.
No.
It's like saying Asians, blacks, Hispanics are all like just lumped together, and there's more of them than there are white people. But I'm like, that's not how it works, is it?
I think some people do see it that way, but no.
Because even among Asians, there's people that don't like each other, like sometimes Korean and Japanese or Korean and Chinese or whatever, you know?
Sure.
So I'm like, it's not like we're all a homogenous group as like opposed to white people, you know?
Yeah. I think there's almost like a tactical level of thinking when someone is saying something like that, though. If they can go like, oh no, we've reached the point where there are more of them than there are of us.
Yeah.
Like if one huge fight broke out, we wouldn't win. It's that kind of thing, I think. Which, yeah, not really realistic or accurate or helpful.
And the whole white grouping is weird to me too, because I'm like, that's like saying there's only one type of white person, but there are like French people, there are Germans, there are Irish, there are Italians, there are Scandinavians, and there's differences among them too. Absolutely. Yeah, I don't know. That's the race thing in America is weird.
It is.
It gets really like it's very reductive. It seems like people. There's no complexity to it a lot of times.
No.
And it's like people overthink it. At the same time, it's like oversimplified. It's weird. It doesn't make a lot of sense a lot of times.
Yeah. And the way that it gets oversimplified, I think it works really well for... Shit, I don't quite know how to put it. You don't have to be able to speak in very subtle or eloquent terms to be a hate monger in that department, you know, because like oversimplification is the name of the game. So you can kind of just... You can make some pretty wild assertions, and there's not really... At the moment somebody steps in to try and make a reasoned argument, like the folks... You're talking to the wrong crowd, because the folks who are really being appealed to with the super simple rhetoric are not going to be able to probably take that kind of...
Yeah, I think a lot of it's intentional. You know, it is rhetoric. It's like that's how you get people. Yeah, it's almost like brainwashing or like a cult or a religion or something. Or they use, I think, tactics like that where you can really rile someone up emotionally by talking in a certain language where it's a simple person will understand it. And then get worked up about it, and that's how you convert them to your cause. It seems like. Yeah,
I think there's definitely something to that.
You're a fuck face.
Oh dear. Well, that wasn't nice.
Yeah. Oh man, I broke before you did. You were just staring me down. Are you genuinely pissed at me?
No.
You should be.
Yeah.
I just called you a fuckface.
Yeah, I don't believe it though. I think you like me.
You're a dick bringer.
Yeah, that's that one you made up.
Yeah,
that's adorable.
It is. The thought of a bunch of dudes bringing dicks to somewhere though is just a very unappealing thought, and I think it's kind of insulting. Like I don't like dick bringers.
Well, I can't leave it at home.
I know, but it's like, did you have to come in the first place and bring your dick with you? And all you're doing is introducing cock to this environment. It's unnecessary. Its presence is not needed.
This might be another way of the future thing.
Yeah.
The cock.
Oh yeah, maybe we'll be able to leave them at home in the future.
Yeah.
And our testicles, depending on the situation.
Yeah, or, leave one or two of them behind.
Yeah. It's like, am I going to want to bring the heat or not?
Yeah. Maybe I'll just bring one ball.
Or should I be kind of neutered on non-threatening, young when I go to this party? Or should I just, kind of juiced up and like aggressive.
You could borrow like 3 more testicles.
Oh yeah, you could borrow your friends on some nights.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm gonna go watch a
Pete,
UFC.
man,
I'm gonna go watch a UFC fight tonight.
Yeah.
Can you loan me your balls?
Yeah.
And your dick too?
Yeah. I know you're going to the opera.
Yeah. Next week we can exchange.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make up for it. I'll make it up to you, buddy.
And there'd be some guys who just never actually do. Like it's like the guy who borrows your lawnmower and just keeps it forever.
Yeah.
Like, hey man, you said that I could.
Yeah. Can I
borrow yours?
Can I get my dick and balls back? I really need them, dude.
Oh yeah. I'll bring those over.
Where is he? He's not here yet. He said he was coming at 5:30, but he hasn't come yet.
Cock hoarders.
Son of a bitch.
Can't end any stronger than that.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Auf Wiedersehen.